You know that little pause when you walk into a room and forget why you're there? Or that name that's just on the tip of your tongue? It's easy to brush off, but these little slips, they can be early warnings. Warnings that your brain is slowing down, that the pathways are getting dimmer. This isn't just about getting older. It's about something much more serious. We're talking about the slow fade toward Alzheimer's. You don't want to be sitting on your front porch one day, realizing you can't remember your grandchildren's names. That's why you need to know. There are 3 simple exercises, just 10 minutes a day, that can help you actively avoid Alzheimer's. It's a terrifying word, isn't it? Alzheimer's. It feels like a thief that comes in the night, stealing the very memories that make you, you. But I want you to take a deep breath. Because you're here, and that means you're fighting back. You're not just accepting the slow slide. You're looking for a reliable way to keep your mind sharp, your independence solid, and your future bright. The good news? Your brain isn't like a machine that just wears out. It's more like a muscle. It needs new roads to travel. It needs exercise. Let me show you what that looks like in real life. I have a friend, Mr. Robert, 72 years old, retired history teacher from Ohio. Robert was always the sharpest guy in the room. He used to sit and read the newspaper cover to cover with his morning drip coffee. But lately, he's been different. He started losing his car keys in the fridge. He calls people by the wrong names. It's a slow erosion. His daughter told me the hardest part was the confusion in his eyes, like he knew the answer was just out of reach. It breaks my heart to see someone who taught thousands of kids the history of this nation, now struggling to remember what he ate for lunch. The experts call this cognitive decline. The truth is, cognitive decline isn't a guaranteed part of aging. It's a risk. And for Robert, the lack of new mental challenge, the settling into routine, allowed the silence to creep in. But we can change the story. You can change your story. The 3 most powerful exercises, so let's get specific. Here are the 3 most powerful brain exercises you can start today to avoid Alzheimer's. Exercise 1. The Sensory Language Lock Challenge. This exercise is all about waking up the parts of your brain that have gone quiet. It forces you to connect language with specific, detailed physical sensation. When you're doing a simple task, like washing dishes or peeling an orange, you must describe verbally or mentally exactly what you're feeling. Don't just think wet. Think, the water is surprisingly cool against my skin, the dish is slippery, and the soap smells of sharp lemon. Focus on the texture, temperature, and scent. This is a deliberate process of slowing down and intensely registering reality. Studies published by the NIH show that forcing multisensory processing, especially attaching explicit language to sensation, actively stimulates several brain regions simultaneously, including the primary sensory and language centers. This heightened level of neuroactivity is critical for maintaining cognitive reserve. When you stop creating these rich, cross-connected memories, the pathways become isolated, making them far more vulnerable to inflammatory damage. For the brain, this is a silent fire, the kind that ends in confusion, or worse. Exercise 2. The Opposite Hand Habit. This sounds almost too easy. But it's incredibly effective because it's about forcing your brain to build entirely new connections, bypassing the old, comfortable ones. The goal is to force your dominant brain hemisphere to talk to the non-dominant one. If you're right-handed, you're going to spend 10 minutes a day doing simple things with your left hand. Brushing your teeth, using the TV remote, stirring your coffee, even opening doors. You will feel awkward. You will be clumsy. That awkwardness is your brain working. It means your brain is actively creating new neural bridges. Think of it as rewiring the house to be stronger and more resilient. The more uncomfortable the task feels, the harder your brain is working to adapt and reorganize its entire structure. This continuous adaptation is the enemy of cognitive stagnation. Over time, it builds up, until something breaks. Often at night. Often without warning. This information is vital. If you want to keep getting real, dependable health advice like this, take a second to hit the subscribe button. Don't risk missing the next video that could change your life. Exercise 3. Tell your story. Detail, recall. This is a social exercise, and it's about deep memory retrieval, the kind that fades first. Find someone you trust, a spouse, a friend, a child. Spend just 5 minutes telling them a detailed story about your day or a past event. But here's the rule. Focus on the tiny details. You must go beyond the main plot points. Don't just say, "I went to the store and bought bread." Say, "I saw the woman in the red hat waiting by the bakery display, and I remembered the smell of the yeast and the slight chill of the freezer aisle." The cognitive effort of digging for specific, highly detailed memories is a powerhouse exercise. It forces the brain to access and strengthen the episodic memory circuits. When you constantly push your memory to recall these fine details, you keep those pathways open and active. This deliberate practice is your best defense against the fading memory associated with early-stage disease. If you don't use these deep recall pathways, they weaken, and that's how this habit can raise your stroke risk. So what happens when you commit to these 10 minutes? You stop worrying about the little slips. That feeling of dread when you can't find a word starts to disappear. You get to keep your history. You get to keep your jokes. It's like watching the morning fog lift, and the sun breaks through, making everything crisp and clear again. You keep the clarity you need to enjoy that Sunday potluck with your whole family, remembering every funny story and every delicious dish. It's not just about surviving, it's about thriving. It's about feeling sharp, confident, and completely present. If that's what you want, here's what to do next. 10 minutes. That's less time than it takes to brew a pot of coffee or check the evening news. The real question is the person you are and the life you've built worth 10 minutes a day? This isn't just about memory. It's about preventing what could be a silent stroke or the slow march of Alzheimer's. You've earned your independence, your clarity, and your peace of mind. Protect your mind and the independence you've earned. Don't keep this to yourself. Someone you know could be at risk. Share this video with 2 people you love today. Let's protect our whole community.